Literally just got out of the theater after seeing One Piece Film Red. I got some things to say about it. This will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled on the film, I suggest you go watch it. It's out in theaters in the US at least. And come back. Don't make sure you come back. All right, so One Piece Film Red, the spectacle everyone has been waiting for. Shanks, Straw Hats, Law, Katakuri, Doflamingo. No Doflamingo. I took some notes on the film while I was trying to watch it, but then I realized, this is gonna be a lot more difficult. But I like the angle they start with. It's building up that the pirates are at fault for every bad thing that's going on in the world. That's kind of the narrative that's been pushed down by the world government, right? And they kind of intro it with that. For the most part, the story is about Uta and everything around her and her flaws and her issues, because she got issues, bro. She got issues. I like the name New Genesis. I wrote that down. New Genesis is a dope name because it's like new beginning, new start, like that. But the first time she started singing was like, whoa, how insane. It's One Piece musical. Like while I was watching, I was thinking, get your head in the game. I'm thinking that, but I loved High School Musical, so I enjoyed this film a lot. Now, this film, it peaks at the end. Now, typically for One Piece films, there are moments in the story, in the midst of the film, and like, man, this is peak. We really don't have that in Film Red. Like, there aren't moments until really Shanks shows up where the film peaks. And let's say Film Z, Aokiji showing up, that was a peak, right? Luffy fighting Zephyr. But for the most part, the peaks are at the end, but not strong growth. What was the last One Piece film? God damn it. Stampede. One Piece Stampede. Had amazing moments throughout. Had the Boy Hancock kick. Before that, had the Supernova versus Bullet. The names are, because I'm so focused on Film Red, the names are just, so going through the film, there are like very wholesome, nostalgic moments. Here's what I felt watching the film. I felt like the characters were in a mode or a stasis of, we're in a film. And it's almost as if they knew they were in a film. That sounds weird to say, but let me explain. Kobe showing up again and seeing Luffy again, it was, for me, I'm like, yo. He's like, hey, Luffy. Good to see you again. Luffy's like, Kobe, can you get me out of here? It was very just mundane, but it's almost like they knew they were in a film. So it's, hey, Luffy, we really didn't meet, but we kind of met, but we didn't meet. We kind of did, but we didn't. So we had moments like that. Bluno, low key, was one of the favorites of the film. Bluno was really cool in the film. Like Helmeppo and Kobe standing, Bluno's right there. It's like, so Sword is interested in It's like, wait, so the world government knows about Sword? If Bluno knows about it, then everyone knows? Like, is Sword not a secret organization? Do they know everyone that's in Sword, or do they just know Sword exists, but they don't know everyone that's in it? In the film as well, this goes back to Bluno, it is really highlighted just how limited he is with his stamina and his devil fruit. And they talk about Uta the same way as well, where it's like, they're bringing this thing, not sure they're gonna do it in the manga more, where devil fruits do take a lot of stamina. We knew that before, but for instance, with Doflamingo, how he was spamming Birdcage and using string, never once mentioned that he was getting tired from using his devil fruit. Never. For Kaido it was, right? Where, damn, Kaido's wearing down a little bit, the flame clouds are starting to dwindle. I would like that to be implemented more to just show just how everyone is affected and stamina is a thing, right? There's no such thing as a latent ability or an ability that doesn't take any damage or any stamina at all, like, because we felt that way with Doflamingo and the Birdcage. Back to Film Red. Throughout the film, I'm watching it. The story is all right. Right? The entire story is okay. I do question Uta and some of her decisions. Uta was abandoned by Shanks back in the day. And the entire film, you're wondering, why did Shanks do that? And apparently Shanks did that to save Uta, because Uta killed a bunch of people, because she unlocked Thought Musica, right? Thought Musica. She unlocked that, and that was a monster that goes out of control. So Shanks and them, they subdue the monster, and then they leave, and they wanted to take the blame for it so Uta doesn't take the blame or feel guilty about all the people she killed. I'm like, dang, I get it. I get why she'd hate pirates and why she want to go through with this. Well, lo and behold, she knew all along. A year after, she found a video Denden Mushi, and it showed her everything that happened that night. So she knew Shanks didn't abandon her for no reason, and Shanks took the fall for no reason. He took it because he was trying to protect her. She knew that, but for her sake, from her perspective, she's like, well, I'm too far gone now. I can't turn back on the people that's believing in me. These people, they're asking me for a better world, because she's secluded on this island for years, right? She was raised by Gordon. Gordon, I'm expecting him to be a villain. I'm like, I'm looking at this guy, I can't wait for him to orchestrate some. No, he's just really a good dude that liked music. The problem is he lied. to Uta about the Shanks thing. Then eventually told her, well, you know, that's not what really happened. She's like, I don't care, I already knew. It's like, all right, I get it. You're just too far gone. Okay, it is what it is. Luffy and the Straw Hats throughout the film do not shine. This is one of the first movies where I don't feel like the Straw Hats had a significant moment. The moment that gave me the most chills or smiles from a Straw Hat was literally when Brook came down at the beginning of the movie to protect Uta. He's so cold. He's like, I want to protect the young ladies. I was like, oh my God, Brook. And of course, Zoro had his moments, but there's no significant moment in the film with the Straw Hats. So I'm like, God, Straw Hats. No, it's not a Straw Hat film. There's a moment where Zoro pushes off a Sanji. Sanji's like, did he just use me for a boost? There are moments like that. There's a moment where Brook and Nami, they're stuck together and Brook is stuck directly beneath Nami. And it's like, Brook, can you figure it out? He's like, only thing I can see right now is Nami's panties. And it's like, all right, okay, made me chuckle. Not a Straw Hat film. Even Law wasn't saucy as he usually is. He was cool. Had his moments where he saved Luffy. Beppo was hilarious in this film, right? Because Beppo was a Uda stan, right? He's like, no, I'm just low-key just chaperone. I'm chaperoning Beppo. Beppo is a fan. And then Law ends up saving the Straw Hats again, right? Saving them to run away. Barto as well is in the film. My guy Barto. That was a good time. But again, the film is pretty all right until the end. So, no more about just the film in general. Okay, before we get to that. Okay, the music is really good. It is, you can tell they put their time into the music, and what they did as well were they were telling Uta's story through the music. Like he was talking about loneliness, how pirates, abandonment. She was singing about all these things beforehand. So I was like, okay, what happened here? Obviously Shanks abandoned her, but there gotta be more to it. No, that's what happened, but the reasons why were skewed. They weren't sure of why things happened. Okay, let's get to the end. Shanks shows up. Uta's about to kill Luffy. So Shanks and Luffy never really meet because one is in a sing world because she has a sing fruit, and one is in the real world. And when everything is done, Luffy's knocked out and Shanks leaves before Luffy wakes up. So Shanks stops her from killing Luffy. She turns into a monster. They have to fight on opposite ends. But this gets to some of my favorite parts of the film. Shanks, he's strong as hell. So obviously, Marines in the film. Kizaru and they had a kind of in the same role, just talking from afar, telling them what to do, saying this can't be allowed. The Gorosei just trembling in their boots, just taut music. We cannot allow that to prosper. So Kizaru and Fujitora, the two admirals here. At the beginning, they were about to attack Uta. The hilarious part in this movie that I'm not sure how many people caught up on, were that they had specific devices to fight Uta because if you can't hear or see her, apparently, then you're not affected by her devil fruit. Fujitora put on the hearing aids and the eye goggles. Sir, now nigga, you know. You don't need them damn goggles. But I don't know if his observation hockey's so strong he can see it. I don't know. Either way, it was hilarious. Shanks shows up and they're trying to help save Uta, but they have to attack Uta from parallel universes, from Sing World and from the regular world. And in the midst of it, Kizaru and Fujitora, they're trying to somehow subdue Uta because she's killing a lot of people. But in the midst of it, they're also killing people because the people that Uta is in control of, they're not in control of their bodies and they're fighting everyone. And Shanks and the red hair pirates, they're taking all the hits. They're just taking it, right? And Kizaru's like, no, pew, 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 kick. It's like, Kizaru was like, nah, B, pew, pew. The thing is, they were taking out people because they're trying to kill Uta. And Kizaru's like, well, a couple thousand has to die for one girl. It kind of is what it is. He did mention the irony of Shanks protecting people and the Marines taking people out. So Kizaru is kind of like aware of the position he's in and what they have to do sometimes. This reminds me of Celestial Dragon was in the film. Our favorite one, Sharlos. And he's like, I want to buy you for $1 billion. Uta's like, no. It's like, wait, what do you mean? I get anything I want. Then Marines are there as well. Just Marines just watching her. They are fans of her. They put on their hats like, all right, we got to take her in. He's like, what? What? They try to shoot her. She has all her powers, so like it doesn't affect her. She's just, bro, it is not gonna work. Sharlo shoots the men he told to shoot her. It's like, all right, if you can't do anything, then you're useless to me. She saves them. They get back up. They're like, I'm sorry. They about to. I'm like, nigga, bro, the world is so messed up. Like, she just saved you, and you about to try to apprehend her again. Like, come on, bro, get a brain. But like, what else are you gonna do? They feel like they're just stuck under the world government or the Celestial Dragon's thumb. It's nasty. Kizaru and Fujitora, well, Kizaru specifically sees the red hair pirates, and he's like, yo, we gotta get Uta. So he goes to his attack up in the sky, Yasamagota, whatever. He does that, and Shanks like blitzes him, like sends that away, and then he has a sword to his neck, or like to his face, towards his neck area, and Kizaru's like, ooh. He's like, this is a family matter. Can you stand aside? And it's like, why do we do this? Why are we doing this in the movie? The movie's not canon. Let them fight. They don't fight. The movie is just mired in, we know we're in a movie. That's the feeling sometimes. Even though it was a good time throughout. Not super peaks, but it was a good vibe. Like, I think that's the thing with a movie. It was a vibe piece, right? Don't wanna be here. It's a good vibe, but as far as the peaks before the end, no, the peaks were around Shanks. So then I think the red hair pirate that I became super fond of without even hearing him say a word was Hongo. Hongo seemed really cool. Lucky Roo didn't say much, but Hongo, I really liked Hongo. I don't know why. And then Hongo and Lucky Roo had like a combined attack where Lucky Roo turns into a bowling ball and he kicks Lucky Roo. It's like, you saw just how they attack a little bit. Howling Gab, he can just, I made a video about this before, but he can send like shockwaves from his mouth. My issue with it is that they're just so subdued because they can't do everything they want to do. Even though this film is somewhat gimmicky, because it's like, how can we make a film about all these characters together without having these characters together? I get it, parallel universes. While you have two admirals there, Kizaru and Fujitora, and you have the entirety of the red hair pirates, they really don't engage after everything happens. Because, okay, before that, my favorite moment, right? Of course, my boy Katakuri being in the film. Come on, guys. And it was at the beginning, we see Big Mom, and it was like pudding, or rather Brulee and Oven, they're stuck. So Katakuri volunteers to go save Brulee, which Oda is somewhat hammering home their connection. Later in the film, Brulee's like, well, I'll never be able to see Katakuri again. All right, I'll help you guys. Because she has the mirror power, so she can basically be, I don't want to say nerf to Uda's powers, but she can skate around it a little bit. Either way, Katakuri's in the film, and he really doesn't do much. He basically shows up at the end when they're trying to fight Uta on the real world side, and he's trying to tell them what he can do. Basically, he can see through Brulee's eyes on the other side. And then Shanks kind of is like, bro, I have to watch it again because it's even confusing the first go around, because Shanks is like, yeah, everybody can use, you're not the only person that can use observation haki. And he's like, huh? Then it goes to Yasop, and Yasop, in a way, he was waiting for Usopp to figure it out. Where now Usopp and Yasop, they're on the same page and they can communicate with each other. Now, I'm not sure if this is a canon element to observation haki where you can see through other people's eyes, but we saw Momonosuke do that with Zunisha. I don't know. Not sure what's going on there, but Katakuri's in the film. Doesn't do much at all. He's just basically one of the red hair pirates attacking. That's just what he was. So they were just like parallel moments where Usopp's like, I don't know if he said Pops or Yasop, I don't know what, but you realized it. He's like, and Yasop's like, I've been waiting for you to figure it out, knucklehead. And so like, they're on the same page calling out where each side is gonna attack first. So it was like, oh, right leg. Usopp's like, right leg. Yasop's like, right leg. And that was really cool to see, right? It's like they're meeting, but not meeting, that felt really good. I'm not gonna lie, that felt really good. And then of course, the end, Luffy and Shanks, they attack at the same time. But then they wake up and Shanks is gone by the time Luffy wakes up. And his moment with Uta is really cool because Uta is now back on the ship. She didn't die, she's back on the ship. And she's canon, that's confirmed, she's a canon character. I don't know. Okay, the major part that people are talking about, that I did see before, people did spoil me on, was Shanks managed to stop the admirals through just Conqueror's Haki. Not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. That moment was dope. Like, I smiled in that entire moment when Shanks, they basically come back. After everything's done, they come back. Kizaru comes back and is like, yo, so this woman killed a lot of people, so we have to take her in. Shanks is like, if you want to take her, she's a member of my crew. Be prepared to die. And it's like, and then orbiting him out of Conqueror's Haki. Knocked out some vice admirals. Momonga went to his knees. I'm like, nigga, you always on your knees. Get up. Stand up, right? It was just like, Jesus. So knocked Momonga down to his knees. The admirals were like, And here's the weird part. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's weird, and it is just a plot thing. Because Kizaru did have a little sweat bubble. It was like, shit, this is pretty intense, right? He didn't move or falter or anything. It was just like, this is the Conqueror's Haki of Red Hair Shanks, it was like, yeah, Luffy's not even close to what that is. They felt the Conqueror's Haki, and then Fujitora's like, you know what? We should probably stand down. There's civilians around. Oh! They just said that civilians don't matter. Well, Kizaru just said that. Fujitora is not like that. Kizaru is like, I don't care. But Fujitora's like, we probably shouldn't fight because civilians are around. I'm just like, bro, why are we doing this in a movie? It's a freaking movie. Just, you could send those three or the entire crew to a parallel universe. Wait. I didn't like that. They stood down because plot. It was, I don't know. They're saying it because of Conqueror's Haki. The Conqueror's Haki didn't. It was like a moment for Shanks, but the fact that Kizaru came back after attacking Shanks and Shanks apparently had him, he's not scared of Shanks. Kizaru's not scared of Shanks. I guess it was time for the movie to end, so it was just like, a cool moment, then we just cut it off. It's like, why do we do this with Yonko and Admirals, bro? Like, in a movie. Would two admirals take out the entirety of Shanks' crew? I don't think so. I think, I don't think so. Like, Ben Beckman had some cool moments. He was just shooting bullets. He stopped a bullet with his hand using arm in hockey. Again, it was a showcase, a pseudo showcase, but they felt super just subdued in a little way. Overall, is it better than Film Z? No. Is it better than Stampede? It might be on the same level just because of how Stampede ended. I hated that end sequence, while Film Red's ending sequence was the peak of it all. The plot, it is all right. I liked how they kept us in suspense the entire time. If I give Film Z a 10, I'll give this probably like an 8. 8 out of 10. A very fun time. This is not a hot take. It should not be called Film Red. Shanks showed up probably the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie. He's in the movie. And then there's still so many different things that we don't know about him. It's implying that Shanks was found in a chest as well by Roger and Rayleigh. And when he found Utu, he's like, maybe this is for a reason. Cool. If you went in expecting to find out some things about Shanks that was like, oh my God. But I guess Oda's saving that for the manga. 8 out of 10. It has so many moments where it could go peak and it just stopped. Again, the strides didn't shine in this film at all, really. It was just like it was really cool to see them in that moment. Yeah. 7.5 to 8. That's what I'm giving it. Guys, give me your thoughts though. How do you feel about the movie? I would just have liked some more Shanks stuff, some more of the red hair pirates fighting an actual combatant that could actually compete. They were fighting just Uta and her minions, and they couldn't do too much. And then the Marines, they're just in the same state and the same excuse, they can't go all out because civilians are around, which I understand. I get it. That's just how the world is. They can't go all out. But Kizaru, he did not care initially. Then he's like, all right, Fujitora, whatever. Good movie. I definitely would watch it again because there's certain things that I want to definitely understand a bit more. At home though. At home. Wouldn't go to the theater again. I would probably watch it at home so I can rewind and pause and do things like that. And some of the music is really, really good. Music is top. But guys, give me thoughts. Make sure you like the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter, B.D.A. Follow me on Instagram. Bro, I was posting stories on Instagram about everything I was doing. So if you want to see those, go right now and check it out there. But yeah, thank you to my members as well. And I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.